Hey guys, so I'm gonna talk about a few tips on how to get through dysphoria, and not just trans people go through dysphoria, but these tips are mainly gonna be for the trans topics of dysphoria, especially from FTM, because obviously it's my experience, and a lot of other guys out there might normally have the same. So these are just kind of a few tips how I've found help to kind of get through it. So the first point, like little tip, is one thing I think that a lot of us forget to do, and a lot of times we have to remind ourselves to actually do it, which is remembering and thinking about the next step, like the next where you're gonna be when you do start testosterone. You've got to remember that if this isn't going to last forever, and I know this isn't a tip that's like visible, like it's not physical, like a physical change, but it's definitely a mental change that you have to keep remembering, is that you have to look forward to the next steps, whatever they may be for you, and whether they're physical changes or mental changes, like looking towards the future can be hard sometimes, but also it's thinking about the what you've got to look forward to. Like, so for example, I've got to look forward to my clinic appointment, which will then lead me onto testosterone, which is a huge step for me. And I've been out as trans for about a year now. Like, obviously, like known it a lot longer, but I've also waited a long time for this appointment. So next month, after that, it could be any time, which is quite exciting. But let's say like 6 months ago, it was hard to stay focused on the positives because you will find it's hard to be positive all the time, and waiting and having to wait and will be your worst enemy sometimes. But when it comes to dysphoria and stuff, when you're having a really bad day, you just have to keep reminding yourself that it's not going to be like this forever, and you've got a lot to look forward to. And it's not just a little thing, it's a big change, and it's going to help you in so many ways. So trying to keep that mind, especially on the bad days, is something that is very important. So what a lot of people ask if you don't know is what you can do right now to make yourself feel better, kind of make that dysphoria calm down a little bit. Um, and just kind of a lot of people will do this when they've come out. It depends, but in my experience, what you can do right now. So let's say you're having a bad dysphoria day, or you have it every day, but these will definitely help for the bad ones that will come in the future. A few things is what did I put? So one thing that you can basically do right now is, well, it's not really like an instant fix, but I tend to. It's not. This doesn't. These don't apply for everyone. They might not work for everyone, but letting your facial hair grow that you can grow right now, and your body hair if that's what you're into. Obviously, not every guy or every trans guy or person's into growing the body hair, and a lot are. But for me, you can't really see because of the lighting, but I have some fuzz, and all this hair is kind of darkening because I have quite dark hair anyway. And I also kind of grow body hair, and like when I kind of came out and was a lot more, I felt a lot better about coming out and just being myself. I just let my leg hair grow, and not that this has to be a stereotypical man thing, but for me, when I look down, it just felt very manly, and I liked it because it kind of was a little reminder. So really, for me, having, even though women can have like hair, it doesn't matter. These are tips for you in particular and what you can do to help your dysphoria. So growing your hair out, or even shaving, like because as you probably know, when you shave, it will make the hairs thicker and darker, but also just shaving it kind of just makes you feel a bit better, because that's what you'll be doing when you are Also, it's something else is clothes. So clothes are something you can do right now, and they can help a lot. And so if you're just as coming out as trans and you've had to, or you've just been wearing clothes that you may not particularly feel like comfortable in and may make your body feel not how you want it to, throw them clothes out. Like, throw them out, go buy some new ones. Like, or if you can't, just kind of go with the clothes that you're most comfortable with at the time. Like, I've always kind of grown up wearing boyish clothes, um, but um, as I've come out, it just seems more natural now. And what I found is I wear quite baggy clothes, which I've said in other videos before, which helped me a lot, because I don't really like the hips and the curves and all that. So wearing baggier clothes definitely helps me. Clothes that you can't really see your binder in, if you've got kind of one of them, um, colours that you'll see through, so kind of darker clothes. Or if you get light clothes, just have a white binder. But yeah, so what clothes is definitely a big thing for me. If I'm having a really dysphoric day, there's still certain clothes that I can't wear. Like, um, it's strange, and a lot of people who have the same feelings can relate. So that's why I think clothes does make a big difference when you're pretty and very. Well, this little piece of advice, it's not really exactly to do with dysphoria, but it definitely can link if you're having a bad day and it'll make you feel worse. It's the pros and cons of comparing. Now, I don't think that you should compare yourself to anybody else. I know it's hard. I definitely do it. I definitely do it in the past, and sometimes you just do it without realizing. But I think the good parts of comparing to a point is when, in a way, when you are watching other trans guys transitions and you kind of you take away what they've took away from it, even though yours will probably be different. It might be similar, but it might be everyone's transition will be different. But it's nice to kind of see the basics of what is to come. That's the kind of comparing that I think is good when it comes to you comparing to other people. But the part I don't see is every other part of comparing yourself. It just makes you feel worse. You just want to look like that, like, and at the end of the day, you're not that person. You're not going to look like them, no matter how much you want to look like them. You won't, because you aren't them. Like, you might get the same features when it comes to looking at guys who transitioned. You could get the beard, get the same structure, you know, but you also might not, because you're probably, I mean, there's people with similar body types with sizes and everything like that. So that could be similar, but at the end of the day, you're not the same. You're a completely different person, different personality, different looks, man or woman. So comparing isn't going to get you anywhere. It's just going to make you feel much worse when you give yourself false hope that when you transition, you're going to look exactly like this guy, and you don't, because you're not that guy. You're a different one, but you're just as special in your own way and just as unique as the other guy sitting right next to you in completely different ways. So really comparing yourself. So all I've got to say about comparing really is that be you, be you. Don't think about anybody else's journey. Just focus on yours. And that's really the best way to stay about it. There's probably more things to help your dysphoria that I can't really think of off the top of my head at the minute. Sometimes it is one of them things that it won't go away by a click of the finger, but there are things that can help it come down a little. And sometimes support, actually, a lot of times, support from other people. When you're having a rough day, just being comforted by somebody else can also make a good difference as well. But there's one point that I wasn't really sure whether to talk about or not with this, but I might. And if anybody's got opinions on this in the comments, I'd love to hear them. Um, Deleting old photos. Now, we all have past photos of growing up or from last week or whatever like that. Like we've all got them photos from our lives really. Um, but what I'm talking about is deleting photos from when you had long hair or when you were in girlier clothes or before, or for people who have transitioned, deleting the photos when they were completely a girl. See, to me, I'm not like that isn't something crucial for me. I haven't gone back and deleted every single old photo. Like all my old photos are still everywhere. It's not that I love to look at them and I don't really go back and look at them, but if they do come up, it's not something I'm ashamed of. It's not something I don't want anyone else to see because I'm openly trans. Um, so it's not really something that I need to get rid of. And also for my mum and my family, really, because at the end of the day, I've known like it's been 18, 19 years up to my life now. I don't want to just take that all away for her, like for take that all away because it doesn't hurt me. Obviously, if you really didn't like it, that could be something that you could do, and people around you would just have to support that, or they could see it, but you don't have to. So for me, I'm not. That's not something I need to do to take my down dysphoria. I don't like seeing it. If it pops up or I see it, I'm not a fan. But I don't feel the need to go and delete it all. But that is something that some people do, and so it's something to think about. But it's definitely not me saying that you should go and delete all your photos of your past self because that's not. It's not something I would do. But at the end of the day, everyone's different, like I said. But it was just a point. But it'd be a nice discussion as well. So if anyone has any opinions on that, let me know in the comments. It'd be nice to know. So that's pretty much done for the end of this video. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'm sorry if I've missed anything off that might have been important, but that's kind of the main points of what I was thinking. Alright, have a good day.